We're going to do a video today of how to fit these side tubes on the Range Rover Evoque. So these are for the dynamic model. So if you're not sure if you've got a dynamic, if you've got these square type exhausts, you've got a dynamic. And Land Rover in their wisdom put a different sill on the dynamic, and the side tubes available from Land Rover at the time I'm doing this video don't fit the dynamic. They only fit the Pure and the Prestige. So we've developed these in-house, and it's a bar, and it's got specially moulded end caps, okay? It's made from stainless steel so it won't rust, and we've made it so that it just sticks out from the profile of the car, so hopefully it will reduce the amount of mud that comes up onto the side of the car. And also, if you're in a car park and someone opens the door, it stands half a chance of catching the bar. So it's a protection bar, a style bar. It makes the car look slightly lower. It's fully moulded in. It looks like a straight tube, but if you look, we've actually bent the tube. It's got about 5 bend points in it so that it follows along exactly. So that's it. We're going to show you how to fit that. It fits onto all the standard mounting points. So I'll get the tools together now and show you what you need to do that. Okay, so let's start fitting. So we've got mud flaps on this car, so let me pass over the camera to Tom. So the first thing we'll need to do is remove the mud flaps. Now if you don't have mud flaps, there are still 2 screws that you will have to undo here. So if you've got the mud flaps, it's a Torx T30 fixing. Okay, so it's these bolts here. Now I think from memory they're there. If you don't have mud flaps, you'll have the same bolts. Right, actually I think you might just have the 2. Okay, and then we've got to remove this panel here according to the instructions, which just pulls out. So can you see here you've got these 2 fixings here, okay, and it's clipped in at the bottom. So it's the 2 screws, the 2 upper screws there and those, okay, and that's the end panel removed. Okay, then we need to get underneath, so let me just lie underneath. Let me just grab. Now the tools you'll need for doing the underneath is basically, we've got to remove the little rivets from underneath. There's some plastic rivets, and the best way of doing it is with one of these sort of snake tongue tools. Okay, now there's 6 of them, so let me grab the camera and show you what we are looking at. So underneath you'll see these little plastic fixings here. Okay, now they do have a screw head in the middle, but I've had little luck in the past trying to remove them by using the screw head. In theory it should screw out, but they really don't work that well. So it's easier just to put the tool behind it, okay, and then just work them out. I'll show you the screw. So there we go. So what you've got here is this little screw. Now when you put them back in, you can unscrew the screw and push the center back in. We'll cover that when we come back to, and basically there's 6 of those along the bottom. So as you look along, okay, you'll see where they go. Okay, here obviously I've taken these out for speed on the video. There, here, okay, and as I move to the back, there's one right at the back there. Okay, so here we go. So first thing you need to do is open the doors to give you the clearance, and what we're going to do is pull this sill section, you can see where it joins here, pull it directly this way. We're going to start at the back. Okay, now these are on little poppers. Okay, so you can see there it's poppered off, and we'll just work along. Now some of the poppers may come off. Now you see these one here, this one stayed in. Okay, the next one down you might be able to see is actually popped out, but it's no problem. Whichever way they want to come isn't a problem. Okay, and then we'll just work along here, and we should just better pop these out here as we go along. Okay, and then the last one at the end, be careful with that. Okay, And what you've got, okay, is you've got these have popped out, okay, along here. Right? Okay, so the ones that have stayed in, now's a good time just to get those out. So again, we'll use this tool, and you just come in behind the end there, and just gently lever them out, okay. And that's what you can see there. And then what you do is if you refit them back into the panel, so with into that last gap there, and position them in the middle, it'll sit comfortably. So we'll put those all back in now. We'll pull these ones that have stayed, and then we'll get on with the next stage of the. Now we're ready to fit the brackets. So here's the brackets. Now all the brackets are stamped, and basically it's a little confusing, but basically you've got FRLH, which means front left hand, and then you've got FRLH or RH, which means that can be used on the front left or right, that can be used on the front left or right, and this one is FR front right hand. So they're the brackets for the front, and these are the brackets for the rear, and it's similar. It's similar nomenclature. You've got the RR for the rear, left or right hand, rear, left or right. In fact, the rear brackets are all symmetrical, so they can be used for the left or the right. So what we're going to do is we're working on the front right hand of the vehicle here, as you can see. So we're going to get the front right hand bracket and this one. Now, if I pass the camera to Tom, I will show you how the brackets go. So basically, on the dynamic model, you'll have this side reinforcing bar. And this is going to go in and use the top, and then what this bottom bracket is going to do is come under like so, okay, and we're going to form a mount point that the bar's going to mount to. Okay, so this top mount is going in here. Now this bottom hole already exists, and we're going to put the riv nut in for this bottom bolt, and then we'll be ready to bolt it up. Okay, so we'll do that next. So we're actually just going to put the front bracket on, because that's going to make it a bit quicker. So we've 10mm socket, remove this front bolt. It's still bolted on at the back, so the bar won't drop down. I'll just support it with my hand anyway. Okay, and then what you need to do is take this bracket, put it in like so, okay, and then refit this bolt back in, okay, like so. Okay, so just nip that one up for now. Okay, and now we're going to go put this one in. We're going to insert the riv nut, and then we're going to put the bolt up. And you'll notice that this riv nut's with the hexagonal body, and if we look underneath, we'll see there's a hexagonal hole. So if I pass that to you, Tom. Right then. Okay. So underneath, you'll see we've got the bracket coming down, and then exactly the other side of the sill, you'll see you've got this hexagonal hole. So I'll just grab the tools now, and we'll start, and we'll put that bracket on and nip that up, which will compress the riv nut. Okay, so you can see the hole underneath the hexagonal hole. If you pop the riv nut in, if you're lucky, it'll just about stay in place. Okay, and then what we've got is we've got the main bracket ready. Okay. Okay, and as you put that in place, okay, and if I zoom out a bit, you can see, tighten that washer up, and that's just really just to stop that riv nut dropping out. Then you need to grab the bolt, so it's the M6 by 25 bolt here that you need to take, and then put that up through there, and make sure you line it up. You look underneath and you line it up with the riv nut, and then start to put that in. So I'll just line that up now. I can't do it and hold the camera, so I'll just do that and then come back. Okay, so with everything in position, the riv nut will work. Because it's hexagonal, it can't spin in its location, so as you tighten the bolt, it'll start to collapse the back of the riv nut. Okay, so I'm just tightening it. There's no special tools needed with these hexagonal type riv nuts. Alright, and you keep tightening until that's tight. So I'll do that, get that tight, and then we'll be ready to go on to the next step.